All right, here. This is interesting. Philip DeFranco, why everyone is quitting YouTube. I mean, isn't it obvious? Isn't it obvious, man? I mean, like, media platforms only last for as long as people are enjoying them and liking them. If there's too many rules, if there's too many regulations, if there's too many corpo moves, they'll just migrate somewhere else. Just migrate somewhere else. There's always going to be a competitor, right? Even in these monopolistic times, there's still competition. Okay, so it's limited to Meta, Apple, and Microsoft. Okay, so it's limited. Nobody's perfect. Capitalism begets capitalism until it becomes monopolies. There were supposed to be laws against it. No, too much money involved now. Capitalism ends up doing this. But there's always a young buck out there that starts up, that figures out, that doesn't sell out. And to those that don't sell out and they're doing it for the drive and the love of the business that they're creating, and they say F corpos and I'm going to do it on my own. That's cojones. That's cojones. Of course, eventually they get so big and large that if they go public, they get a board of directors that ends up kicking you out and you become something completely different and then get sold off and pieced out to the larger corporations. Anyway, let's see why people are quitting YouTube.
The retirement of YouTube staple Matt Pat. And even if you're not personally familiar with him, this is an important story because it does feel like it's becoming part of a growing trend. He's behind the 18.5 million subscriber, The Game Theorist channel. And that's in addition to 3 other massively successful channels in different verticals: Film Theorists, Food Theorists, and The Style Theorist. And if you randomly hear an iPad kid over the next few days crying, it's probably connected to the video that got released yesterday, with Matt uploading a video titled Goodbye Internet, announcing that his last day hosting Game Theorist will be in March. And in it, saying that he's gonna miss doing this, but also adding that he and his wife Steph, who runs things with him, always knew this time would come.
We knew that we couldn't do this forever. We knew that, honestly, we didn't want to do this forever.
I'll tell you what, I'm not trying to trash this guy. I'm really not, but like, I'm going to tell you how this comes across to me. This is like what Maddie was talking about in an earlier highlight on the morning show. Is like, it doesn't come off as sincere. It doesn't come off as genuine at all. It feels overact, overproduced, salad vibes, as we call it. And I don't know, I feel eventually when you do it for years and years and years, the reason why this dude is calling it quits is because he recognized that. I think somewhere deep down, he got tired, he forgot the fire, and he did what any rational human being would do, is say, well, why am I doing this still? Like, why am I keeping, maybe he realized that he's looking not genuine anymore by doing this. And I say, good for him. You shouldn't keep doing it just because it's a cash generator for you. You got to remember your roots and why you started doing this. I don't know much about this channel. I watched a couple things from his channel. But yeah, I can see it, I can feel it. You can feel it come through the screen, Macabre says, every time I see streamers complain, I just would like to see them do my job for 1 week. Right. We got it made. Like, people who are in the streaming industry and are actually able to make a living out of it, man, it's the best thing in the world. I'm always grateful. Macabre, that I can do this and make some type of income off of it. It's not much. You guys saw my analytics screen, so you guys know it's not much. But I appreciate all the love and the help and the support that you guys give me, man. Dude, because it helps me continue to keep going. Like, financially, there's the financial side to all this too. And I couldn't spend this kind of time with you if income wasn't coming in from it, because, I've got a family to feed. Just so happens, unfortunately, you need money to eat in the society that I'm living in. So I'm very grateful for all the help here that is offered by you guys. Thank you so much. But gotta have the passion, gotta, like Hammer Dookie says, if the passion isn't there, it's time to leave. You gotta have that passion. You've just got to. Macabre says, I work 250 hours a week. I have to be awake for 24 to 30 hours at a time. Whew. Okay, Macabre, we need to have a talk, buddy. Listen, are you the boss or do you have a boss? Can I speak to your boss right now, Macabre? Can you put this phone up to your boss right now? Are you watching on a phone? Can you show your boss what I'm about to tell him? Here's what I have to tell your boss right now. Hold on one second.
Take a big step back and literally fuck your own face.
That's right. That's to Macabre's boss. Thank you, Macabre, for showing your boss that. Thank you.
For as much as I love you and I love overthinking things and I love theorizing,
yeah,
big respect,
Macabre.
I don't love the fact that Steph and I have been work first for over a decade.
With Matt also going on to say,
is he breaking down? Is he breaking? Oh, that's a sad thing. That it went from like an acted experience to like a real emotion breaking through the surface of the acting. Did you guys see that? Can you testify to that? Can I get an amen? Can I see that? The fake was breaking down and the real was coming out. He started to giggle. He did he giggle? Was he giggling? Hold on, wait. We gotta watch this again. Was he giggling? I think he couldn't believe that real was coming out of his mouth, Fingers. Yeah, he does kind of. Wait a second.
I don't love late nights. I don't love the fact that Steph and I have been work first for over a decade.
With Matt also going on to say,
I don't know. Like, I think that's just like some realism trying to pop out amongst all the fake. Like I feel like the feelings are like popping out, like and rupturing like lava erupting from the ground. You know what I mean?
He wants to be able to turn off the business side of his brain, actually like go to dinner with a friend and not talk new. But nope, that was me. Oh no. He wants to be able to go to a dinner with a friend and not be thinking about business. To be able to enjoy things like it could be a movie or a game and not think, how can I turn this into content? To be able to spend more time with his kid because you never get that time back. Though notably, he then goes on in the end of the video to detail other things that he'll end up working on. It's just that it's more behind the scenes, right? In the background, working with creative directors popping up on just a few occasions. But the big thing, and it's always the risky thing, is that he's going to be passing the big hosting duties off.
It's not going to one person, but rather 4. I would not wish my schedule on anyone. Like, sure, I'm willing to not sleep for the last 13 years of my life, but I feel like as old man YouTube passed.
I don't know. I feel like this is a mistake. I feel like people join this because of this dude. Like, I always get like when the baton is passed from one CEO to another CEO in a company, like Steve Jobs, for instance, or Bill Gates, for instance, or, like when you talk about how, that, well, don't even get me started talking about Microsoft. Oh my God. Okay. Don't like the commitment of Steve Jobs with Apple is legendary. The commitment Steve Jobs had to vision and what people wanted is legendary, right? He made Apple what it is, and he went through cycles of success and defeat, and he kept going. Okay, and of course Wozzy, don't even start. Like, I mean, Jesus, he should be super grateful they had Wozzy with him. But like these guys are the names, are the brands, are the business. It's like if Elon Musk didn't have Tesla anymore, or it's like if Elon Musk wasn't the CEO of Tesla anymore. I always get nervous with these batons being transferred because, like, I feel like this is the dude who created his channel and why people came and gravitated to the channel. Period. End. Stop. Then I feel like you're passing on a baton and you're getting other. I understand why he's doing this, but I think that's a recipe for failure. It's very rare that the baton could be passed and that the audience is kept asses in seats. Right? Right, Fingers. Charismatic domain. Right. For whatever reason, this guy's content, his personality, whatever it is, he built it up. People gravitated to it. And now he's like, okay, I want to keep doing it, but I don't. So these people are going to be the faces of it now. I'll be in the background just collecting the money. Obviously, he's probably going to do more than that. But the thing is that's going to be the appearance. And those things aren't generally successful afterwards. Very rarely does that baton being passed on ever amount to it being as success as it once was,
Passing this along to the next generation, I should probably do my best to try and make it more sustainable for them.
So in response to this, as expected, fans were shocked. They were devastated. Also, many people expressing their thanks for all the years of content and entertainment for the community, for people feeling like they have a place. But what I will say with this is, as shocking as this news was for a lot of people, it's really not that shocking. Matt's video actually follows a ton of other creators who have announced similar things. Even reference the likes of Tom Scott, who posted a video last week. With Tom there saying after a decade of doing this, he's taken a step back, and maybe he will come back, maybe he won't.
And you know what? Good. Good. You know, like all these things have life cycles, man. Everything's a cycle. They started out, they got successful, they did what they had to do. The fire, it just isn't there for them anymore. Something has changed and they're moving on. That is the natural progression of the way that things should work. If somebody's like hanging on to something to like stoke an ember, it's not healthy. You know, like it's not healthy. You should never do that. Just follow your heart. Just follow where your heart goes and do what it is that you love to do, man. And that leaves room for the young bucks coming into the game, and they can do what it is that they do, and it leaves room for, this is the cycle. It's a circle of life, man. It's a circle of life.
The dream job is still a job, and it's a job that keeps getting bigger and more complicated. I am so tired. There's nothing in my life right now except work.
Also, looking into it, in addition to the video, he spoke to The Guardian, saying there he only barely avoided burnout, according to changes on YouTube as a platform impacting it, especially as there's been this whole new emphasis on short-form content, right? It's the big competition with TikTok. And Tom's saying with that, it feels like a lot of people who've been making long-form videos have recently announced not retirement.
Orson says something really great here. He says it's, you know, wait, hold on. He says, it's akin to any other small business when you realize there are only so many hours you can work and you have to change the business model by bringing on more people. When you do, you are giving up some of the fingerprints you have on the business. It's hard to figure out. Probably even hard when you are your brand. And that is, look, right? Right. Like, I understand that people are coming to the show here, have a good time, and to see me. Like, this isn't, I never view this as a business, number one. Okay? I think in terms of my definition of success, I don't view this as a business. I just like doing this. But I get that I am my own brand. You know, like, when you're doing this is an interesting day. We're talking a lot about streamers today. You guys are finding some cool stuff. When you're doing this, you have to realize a lot of times you are the brand. And it's interesting, I think, as we move forward and AI starts taking more jobs from people, I think this genre of business where people are coming in, you already see it's being saturated. It's being flooded by people. I think it's important to realize why you're doing it, you know? And again, you should share things that you love. You should create things that you love. If you're doing this, you should do it out of the love. You should do it out of the fire that you have in my instance, for being here, chilling out, having a good time. I need it for my sanity. Like I look forward to the Thursdays and Fridays all week long, man. So I love being here. It's necessary for me to be here. If I didn't have you guys, holy shit, the world would be in some serious trouble. For real. For real.
But reductions, step backs, saying everyone I know is noticing their views slowly falling and therefore their ad revenue reducing. Between the decline in long-form viewers, the threat from junk zero-effort generative AI channels that are only going to get better, and the sheer mass of competing video options, I think it's going to be a difficult few years. And again, his words are true. He is just one of a bunch of other notable big creators that have stepped back. And as far as my takeaway with all of this, I absolutely get all of it. Like every single aspect. One, while the reception to MatPat's video is overwhelmingly positive. I saw some people clowning on him because he was crying. My reaction to that is, how the hell do you not get emotional? Like, I can't speak for Matt, but as one of the few old school creators still on this platform, I get it. In 2 years, in 2026, I will have been on this platform for 20 years. That's not only half of my life.
Wow. Yes, I gotta give him some applause for that. I didn't realize he even had this channel, but I remember back in the day, I watched a lot of Philip DeFranco, man. Like, he's got one hell of a story. This dude's pretty real. At least, like, I always felt like this kind of, I don't know where he's from, but I always felt like this Philly kind of vibe, or like a New York type of vibe. I'm not sure where he's from, but like, it feels to me like it's a Philly vibe or a New York type of vibe. And I always respected his kind of like, his ability to be frank, and I don't know, over the years, sometimes I looked at Philip DeFranco and I was like, he's changed, and you know, I've had my moments of going to Philip DeFranco and not, but the dude has been here for 20 years, you know, crazy long.
My life. It is my whole adult life. And when I started, like a lot of people early on, we couldn't even make money. Something either inspired us or made us happy or made us angry. And we were like, blah, I'm going to throw this on the internet. And all of a sudden we had this community.
This dude is an OG. This dude is like, this dude started like at the very inception of YouTube, man. You know?
Grew that community together, and it's part of the reason why, especially I think for a lot of us old schoolers, there's somewhat of a parasocial connection with a lot of people. So when you take that connection, or really, I don't see how you do.
Philip DeFranco is more OG than I am. I started vlogging in like 2012. Philip DeFranco was way before that. You know, Philip DeFranco is older, like an OG, more OG than I am, man. Which is hard to do in this space. Crazy.
Do anything for that long, and then you change it up and not get a
Ash is like, wait a second, YouTube's only existed since 2005. He can't have done it for 20 years. Close to 20. He started at the very beginning, you know? So like, yeah, 18 to be correct, you know? But yeah, close to 20. I'll let that slip past, Ash. Ash is getting super professional, man. He's like, hey, wait, it's not 20. It's 18. It's 18, damn it. Don't lie to me, Philip DeFranco. Those 2 years, fuck those 18 years. Those 2 years, Philip DeFranco. That's why he's got the tickle sword, man. That's why Ash is a mod, man. See, I got a method to my madness. That's why Red Bear and Ash are mods, man. They take care of business. They keep me factually on track. You see what I'm saying? You see, there is a method to my madness. That's why they got the green tickle swords. They got the green tickle swords.
Emotional. Also regarding burnout and wanting work-life balance, you know, that's not unique to just online creators, but for people who are self-employed, they're the entrepreneurs, they run companies. 99.9% of the stress and problems in your life are your own fault. You have complete control over them. Right? Like, I'm the one forcing myself to work this number of hours per week. I'm the one who has forced myself to shoot through being sick the past 3 days. Whereas people that work for me, rightly so, can take that time off. It becomes very easy to push yourself to an unhealthy place because you are incentivized and rewarded for it. And at the same time, in a lot of places, you're penalized for taking a break. And so whether it be a number of things, a fear of failure, it's just so ingrained in us that success just equals more. You see a number of creators over the years just implode and then disappear. Or the unfortunate thing is, I feel like, I don't know if it's become more manageable, but a lot of creators that you're just like, oh, I love their content, coming out with videos that like every 1 to 3 years, like saying, I'm immensely sad. And it is directly connected to the thing that I'm putting out on this platform. And so I personally love and respect creators being open about this and having the guts to make a change. Because change is scary, whether you're leaving completely.
You ever see those content creators, right? They make like 1 video every other month or 2 videos every other year or something. Like there's so, you know, like maybe they had a video that made them kind of popular, and then they come on like every other month or 3 months, and the video that pops up is like how they're so depressed about where they're at and they should be farther along. And it's so funny. I see those videos. I'm like, oh, where, oh. Like, you know, like the person takes no time or effort. Luck was on their side and the algorithm exploded one of their videos, and then they expect every single video to explode, and when it doesn't, then they come out with less and less content, and then they start to bitch, and then every video is a bitch fest on how terrible life is. It's like, okay, all right.
Lately, you're taking a massive break, or you're replacing yourself. Because while the people replacing Matt, right, they've written, they have very close connections. You never know how that swap's going to go. You never know how any change is going to go. But really, in the coming weeks and months, I would not I
feel like I've sped this video up. That's one thing I forgot about Philip DeFranco, is like when I watch Philip DeFranco, he's got that really quick meter. It's like it's like Viva La Dirt. Like it's like Rowan when he does that. Yeah. Let's speed it up. Pepe, can we speed this up? I'm just curious, please.
surprised if we saw a lot more people coming out with videos like this. But for the reasons Matt talked about in his video, the ones that I'm talking about here, and the others that Tom expanded on regarding the platforms changing, especially with the astronomical rise of the low to no effort faceless channels. And then there's just the content piece. I saw someone unironically make a video the other day where they're like, hey, you want to be big on TikTok and make some money? They just showed themselves stealing a joke from a comedy series and then also stealing gameplay footage and pairing it and uploading it. And I was watching it and I was like, wait, the secret is just that. What they're saying is transformative because they're stealing two things and playing them at the same time. It makes you wonder what the hell is happening. With all that said, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this whole situation, the MatPat announcement, everything we talked about. Let me know what you're feeling in those comments down below.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know if I even got through that correctly. Frankly, that was really scary. Okay, now it's time for a DG360 Spotlight. This DG360 Spotlight is brought to you by the Flying Buttress, or Flying the Buttress, actually. DG360, the Viagra of YouTube, now with enhancement. I like that. I like that. That's funny. The Viagra of YouTube.